Good morning, guys. It was several months ago that I got some wheels off a colleague of mine at work. Some old BBS wheels. He'd had them for about 11 years in his shed. Really in a bad state, and I painstakingly spent all summer refurbishing them, polishing them, and now let's have a little look at how they've turned out. So this is the bad boys on my Mk1 Golf GTI. They've actually come out beautiful, and I love the look of them. But yeah, beautiful. I've still got to do a little bit of fitment work. So as you can see here on the old caps, they're fouling at the moment on the studs. So I just got to cut the studs a little bit shorter, and then they go on, no problem at all. That's not an issue, easily solvable. But they're sitting real nice on the car, look. And I've actually done a video of the whole process of these being refurbished, so yeah, have a watch of it and see what you think. But yeah, I'm super chuffed with how they've come out. Cheers.
So in my quest to get my BBS split rim wheels refurbished, I took them along to Wheelworks. They got the paint that I requested from CC Paints in Charwood. Firstly, they put the wheels through an acid bath, as you saw there. That strips all the paint off. Then they go through the process of sanding them. They started off, well, working through various grades on the insides of the wheels. And they obviously need to do each of the 4 wheels in turn as well, as you can see on the bench here. Once they finish the insides, they then focus on the faces of the wheels. They're really paying a lot of attention to detail, getting out all the old marks and any pitting, and giving the surface a good key before the powder coat paint is applied. Some of these clips I've sped up sort of 4 times just to so you can see what's going on anyway. Then the wheels and the dimple rings that I bought go into the oven to preheat them. I think they do this, and again I'm guessing a lot of this, but it makes the paint and the powder coat adhere better to the aluminium surface of the wheels. So Wheelworks are really good. All their processes are automated, as you can see. They've got quite, some clever setup in their workshop there, just in Crawley. So now the powder coat is being applied, and again I'm guessing here, but I think this is done using a special electrostatic gun. So it's a powder, as in the name, powder coat paint, and the paint itself, the powder is charged one way, and the wheels are charged another. And then once they've applied the paint and it's been baked through the oven, they then apply a clear coat lacquer on the top of that, and again they bake it again. So when I picked the wheels up, I got them back home and had a really good look at them, and I really am pleased with what they've done. It's like really super job. They masked off the faces where the polished lips are going to sit, and that just makes, when I put them all together with some special glue, it makes the surfaces mount better. The dimple plates were also painted, as you can see. The insides of the wheel barrels are all completely painted as well. So yeah, really happy with that. I used some Loctite on the caps that I bought, basically to make sure that when I put the screws in, they're not going to come loose when I'm driving down the road. So putting a little bit of Loctite in each of the screw holes there. Now I can put the dimple ring on, and there's a couple of screws that just go in to sort of hold it in place. They've got a little plastic washer on there as well, so the dimple rings don't get damaged. So whilst Wheelworks have been working on the barrels and doing the painting, I've been polishing up the screws that are used to hold it all back together again, and the wheel lips, as you'd have seen already anyway. So the next stage, when I've got all of this together, is to then fit the lips onto the wheel barrels, screw it all together, and then take the completed wheels back down to Wheelworks with the tyres that I've bought for them to fit those as well, and then it's pretty much job done. So those caps I got from a little engineering company in Poland. They CNC machined those hex nuts, really nice items, but they're starting to look like proper wheels again. Brilliant. Thank you Wheelworks, brilliant job. So I did a fair amount of research on the interweb with regards to the best way of reassembling these BBS RM split rims, and I think this is the way to go. So with all the components ready, I firstly cleaned up the mating surfaces with isopropyl alcohol, and I bought myself some of this U-Pole Tiger Seal to basically glue the lips back onto the barrels. The whole idea is to get an airtight seal, obviously, so that once the tyres go on, they can be inflated without any loss of air pressure over time. What I'm doing here is just putting a thin bead of the Tiger Seal all the way round on the mating surface of the barrel. Again, I've sped it up a little bit, so it just runs through a little bit quicker. This is the first wheel that I attempted, so I think I've learnt a bit from doing this one. One of those learnings is probably, you know, putting too much of the Tiger Seal on. I did a dry fit of these as well and bolted them all down, and then you can see that I marked using a little bit of insulating tape, white insulating tape, so I realigned the same holes again. I left them overnight dry fitted to pull the lip down into you know, square onto the barrels. The key thing as well is getting these screws to go into the threads correctly, so I did all of this part of it by hand, getting the screws, the first few, in as smoothly as possible, and I worked sort of in a star pattern opposite one another. So yeah, put them all in by hand, and I bought a special socket as well, the BBS socket, so that I could use that as well to screw them down. Then I'm using my electric drill. It's on the lowest torque setting, so it literally just wind them in with no particular torque. Because the torque, again, I wanted to do that manually using my torque wrench. So once I've gotten, you know, most of them down, going star shape opposite, I then just ran round the rest of them with the electric drill to seat them all. Now I'm using a torque wrench. Initially I've got it set to 15 Newton meters. Now again, this is an area of contention as to what you need to torque them down to, but general consensus is no more than 20 Newton meters on BBS RM and RS split rim wheels. So again, I worked opposite, so the first one, then going 108 degrees across the other side of the wheel, and then once I'd done that and got most of them down, I worked my way around the rest of them. Once all probably torqued down, there's another step there actually, torquing down to 20 Newton meters, but once that's all done, and I will go back and recheck them again, I did another bead of the Tiger Seal in the gap between the polished lips and the barrel on the underside. So this is obviously in the inside of the tyres, and again, general consensus is you do this the once and then wait and go back and do them again.
So guys, I'm super pleased. I've just got the wheels back again from Wheelworks and they fitted the tyres, as you can now see. I've gone for Toyo Proxies. They're 195 50 15s. They went on super easy. They've been like this a couple of days now and they're holding pressure no problem at all, which is great. I've started putting a bit of wax on these ones as well, that a local metal polisher recommended. This stuff, Renaissance micro crystalline wax polish. So yeah, you put that stuff on and hopefully it protects a little bit on the aluminium from water, mainly water issues. So the next job I'm gonna do, as you can see, these are looking great. I want to fit the caps. So I've got the caps to go in there, which will fit in like that, but they're on a collar that basically you've got 3 set screws. So I'm going to now mount those collars in there, and you can see how that's done. Also, when I bought the caps from MG Line, came with this is actually grease, so a little bit of grease to go on the threads as well. So let's get on and get that done. And we're virtually there. We're virtually finished now with these wheels, which is great. Right, so here's the collar, and you can see what I've done. Just put the little set screws in there. And now what I'm going to do is just put a dob of Loctite on there, as I have done on everything else. So we're just going to put a little dob in there like that on each one. Yeah. And then we can fit it into the wheel. Okay, so the collar goes into the wheel, and then these little set screws, we're just going to evenly tighten them, just a little bit at a time.
Oh. Right, I must go in all, at least to clear the thread of the collar. So we do that to start with. Okay.
Good. Now what we're going to do is, with our cap, we're just going to put a little bit of that grease across the threads like that, and then it should just be a case of winding it in. Beautiful. So that's it now. Wheels are fully finished. The only thing left to do is to mount them on my Golf GTI when I've got that, and you'll see the final result as to how they look. I will only run these wheels in the summer months when it's nice and dry, and well, if we get dry weather that is, but that's it. Basically they're finished, and I'm well pleased with how they've come out.